with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. And
from Jesse Waters, Jimmy Kimmel was planning on doubling down and attacking MAGA again before he got suspended. So what do we know about this before we get to this video? We know that Jimmy Kimmel lied on network TV about a crime, very callously so as well. And his whole demeanor was extremely callous, right? And you're not allowed to do that. FCC regulations, false information. Broadcasters cannot broadcast false information about a crime or catastrophe if it is known to be false and could cause substantial public harm. All of the information coming from the authorities was that this was a left-winger, that this was a radical leftist. So claiming he didn't know, no, that's not going to hold water. He had plenty of time to find it out. I'm sure they have lawyers. In fact, they do, by his own admission, have lawyers that go through everything. So they certainly would have known what was going on. And what did he say? Let's go back to it. Let's go watch it one more time here. What did he say?
he had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the
one of them, MAGA. See, that's not true. That is not true. Let me refer you again to this FCC regulation about broadcasting false information about a crime or catastrophe if it is known to be false. So we know that. We know that this wasn't him telling a joke. That wasn't a joke. I just showed it to you. That was not a joke. That was just a lie. That was just him lying about a crime. Very callously so as well. And just in a totally partisan manner. So, no, he wasn't canceled for a joke. He was canceled for making a false assertion. Also, his ratings had cratered by half.
Advertisers were burning up the phones. ABC executives were getting flooded with emails. Disney boss Bob Iger wanted Kimmel to apologize, but Kimmel said, "No way, Bob."
Jimmy wanted to go on his show last night, and in his monologue, I hear that he wanted to address the backlash from the right regarding his commentary about Charlie Kirk's charged killer. And I hear that that monologue was very hot. It very much took aim at MAGA, and that is when the executives said, we can't have him go on the air tonight.
Little Jimmy.
I want to show you something else. We'll get back to this. So they wanted him to apologize. Okay, what does he say here? Because I have a feeling that the lawyers for the Jimmy Kimmel show, and they all have lawyers to protect them and to protect the network, I have a feeling they probably wanted him to retract that statement or correct that statement, the false statement about the assassin, the murderer being MAGA, and he refused that night. Let's take a look.
Don't make up lies. In fact, we have a team of people who work very hard to sift through facts and reputable sources before I make a joke. And that's an important distinction, a joke.
So if this is true, and it obviously is true that he's got lawyers who go through everything, they will have told him, I mean, if they are worth the money they're being paid, they will have told him before he did the monologue that you can't say this, this is false. This breaks FCC regulations because it's a lie that you know is false about a crime. You know, it may open them up to civil lawsuits as well, right? So they would have told him that before he said it live. They would have said after he said it, you're going to have to correct that statement. He refused, and he was refusing to do it on the next show. So if you want to blame anybody for this, blame him. I mean, not that the left has any ground to stand on this anyway. I mean, they started this shit. Right? They started it. And for the okay hand sign, for misgendering somebody, for not believing in the bizarre redefinition of the word gender into an infinite series of abstractions. Nothing like this. This is completely different. What we're dealing with now is genuine extremism. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.